Day of the Dead. The name might sound sad, but it's actually a happy celebration. It's full of life and color. It's not a day for being sad, but for remembering happy times. Instead, it's a time to celebrate life, remember loved ones, and welcome their spirits back home. Families make special altars called Ofrendas, filled with photos, food, and things their loved ones enjoyed. Imagine a lively festival, full of color, music, and delicious food. The streets are filled with parades and traditional dances. That's Day of the Dead, a time when families believe they can connect with those who have passed on. Candles light the way for the spirits. This beautiful tradition, a big part of Mexican culture, reminds us that death is not the end. It's a chance to honor and celebrate. It's simply a new beginning, a new part of the story of life. Graves are decorated with flowers and gifts. On Day of the Dead, we embrace both life and death, celebrating the memories of those who came before us. It's a time to be together and remember, where every smile and tear means something special. Day of the Dead goes back thousands of years to the people who lived in Mexico long ago, like the Aztecs. This holiday is a big part of their beliefs and traditions. They believed that death was just a part of life, and that the spirits of the dead lived on in another place. They made altars called Ofrendas to honor and remember loved ones who had passed away. This ancient celebration wasn't just on one day, it lasted for a whole month, filled with special things they did to remember the dead. They believed a special figure, Mictecacihuatl, the Lady of the Dead, helped the spirits on their journey. She was very important, connecting the world of the living and the dead. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 1500s, they tried to stop these traditions, but the beliefs and practices were too strong to disappear. The celebration was too important to forget. It kept going, changing a little bit over time. It mixed with some Catholic beliefs, eventually becoming the Day of the Dead we know and love today. This celebration shows how strong cultures can be and how traditions can mix together. The most important part of Day of the Dead are the ofrendas, or altars, made with love in homes and cemeteries. These are not for praying to, they are meant to welcome and comfort the spirits coming back to visit. Families decorate these altars with things that their loved ones liked. Photos help them remember happy times. Favorite foods and drinks invite the spirits to enjoy the celebration. Candles light their way home, while bright orange marigolds help guide the spirits with their smell and color. Food is super important on Day of the Dead, just like any great party. Families make big meals with traditional dishes like mole, tamales, and pan de muerto, a sweet bread that sometimes looks like bones and is sprinkled with sugar. But the most exciting treat is the sugar skull. These colorful and beautifully decorated treats are not meant to be scary. They show death in a fun and light-hearted way. Often, they have the names of loved ones on them, reminding everyone that death is not the end, but a new part of life's journey. Day of the Dead is more than just a celebration. It's a time for families to remember their history, honor their ancestors, and teach traditions to their children. They tell stories about loved ones, keeping their memories alive. Children learn about their family history and why it's important to remember those who came before them. It's a time for laughing and remembering, for celebrating life and understanding that death is a natural part of it. While Day of the Dead is mostly celebrated in Mexico, similar traditions exist all over the world. In many cultures, from Asia to South America, people honor their ancestors and celebrate the cycle of life and death in special ways. For example, in Japan, the Obon festival welcomes the spirits of ancestors home with lanterns and dances. In China, the Qingming festival is a time for families to visit the graves of loved ones and bring them gifts. These different traditions, each with its own customs and beliefs, show that it's important to remember those who have passed and celebrate the connection between life and death. Lately, Day of the Dead has become popular with people all over the world. Its message of remembering loved ones, celebrating life, and accepting death has touched many people. From Hollywood movies to art shows and community festivals, Day of the Dead is now celebrated in many parts of the world. This shows how much people everywhere like this holiday and its message of life, death, and remembering. Day of the Dead is more than just a holiday. It's a very important tradition in Mexican culture. It shows the power of love, memory, and celebrating life even when someone dies. During this time, The streets are full of bright colors and music. In a world where people are often scared of what happens after death, this holiday reminds us to embrace life and death with open hearts. It teaches us to celebrate the lives of those who are gone but still live in our memories. By being with loved ones, sharing stories, and remembering those who are gone, we keep the spirit of Day of the Dead in our hearts all year round. This celebration brings us together and makes us stronger, reminding us that death is not the end, but a natural part of life. Let us remember that death is not the end, but a new beginning, a journey to another place where our loved ones are waiting for us. Day of the Dead connects the past and the present, bringing families together and keeping memories alive. Let us celebrate this tradition with love and joy, honoring our ancestors and making our families stronger.